It's been a minute. George Carlin, hit that like button. Roll to 20K, baby.
Soft language.
Let's get it.
I don't like words that hide the truth. I don't like words that conceal reality. I don't like euphemisms or euphemistic language. And American English is loaded with euphemisms because Americans have a lot of trouble dealing with reality. Americans have trouble facing the truth. So they invent a kind of a soft language to protect themselves from it. And it gets worse with every generation. For some reason, it just keeps getting worse. I'll give you an example of that. There's a condition in combat. Most people know about it. It's when a fighting person's nervous system has been stressed to its absolute peak and maximum, can't take any more input. The nervous system has either snapped or is about to snap. In the First World War, that condition was called shell shock. Okay. Simple, honest, direct language. 2 syllables, shell shock. Almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was 70 years ago. Then a whole generation went by, and the Second World War came along, and the very same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock.
It definitely starts getting a little softer.
Mm-hmm.
It's called battle fatigue.
Following.
4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock. Shell shock. Battle fatigue. Then we had the war in Korea in 1950. Madison Avenue was riding high by that time. And the very same combat condition was called operational exhaustion. We're up to 8 syllables now. And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Right. Operational exhaustion. Sounds like something that might happen to your car.
Oh my God.
They took the human out of it and
right.
they made it the condition. Okay, all right, I follow him.
And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Operational exhaustion. Sounds like something that might happen to your car. Then, of course, came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no surprise that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time. I'll bet you that. I'll bet you
that. I swear, George Carlin be like you're watching a sermon. It don't even be like, you be forgetting it's a comedy
right.
show. You know what I mean? Like he just kind of just kicking isms, you know? Like whether you agree or don't agree, he there to kick some ish to you.
I'll bet you that. I'll bet you that. But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons is because we were using that soft language, that language that takes the life out of life. And it is a function of time. It does keep getting worse. Give you another example. Sometime during my life, toilet paper became bathroom tissue. I wasn't notified of this.
Yo.
No one asked me if I agreed with it. It just happened. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue. Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance. The dump became the landfill. Car crashes became automobile accidents. Partly cloudy became partly sunny. Motels became motor lodges. House trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned transportation. Room service.
He ain't lying. Nah, he did. Yeah.
I feel like some of those were the other way around. But,
yeah, me too. I do too. There's a few of
definitely.
them that are like, yeah, because I mean, medicine and medication is like, nigga. But I know what he's saying, though. I get his point. Yeah.
Lodges. House trailers became mobile homes.
That one.
Used cars became previously owned transportation. Room service became guest room dining. And constipation became occasional irregularity.
Damn it.
When I was a little kid, if I got sick, they wanted me to go to the hospital and see the doctor. Now they want me to go to a health maintenance organization or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities.
That's exactly what it's called. Oh my God. No, that's literally what it's called. But it was called that before too. People just didn't refer to it as that, which is hilarious. But yeah, subsidized housing is a lot of those things. Even like, I don't know. But I know what he's saying. That's hilarious.
Or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities. And they're broke. They're broke. They
Big
don't have a
name.
negative cash flow position. They're fucking broke. Because a lot of them were fired. You know, fired.
Yeah.
Management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resources area. So many people are no longer viable members of the workforce. Smug, greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people.
Facts. That's
They
true.
depopulate the area.
Yeah.
The government doesn't lie. It engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually measures nuclear radiation in something they call sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part of it to us, do they?
Right.
Never mention that part of it.
Yeah. Nah, he kicking some.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he kicking some isms.
And some of this stuff is just silly. We all know that. Like on the airlines, they say they want a pre-board. Well, what the hell is pre-board? What does that mean? To get on before you get on? They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my God.
They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples. Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe that condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you? How about differently abled?
Differently able.
I've heard them called that, differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well, hey, cousin, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
Nah, he's wrecked.
Right.
We have no more deaf people in this country, hearing impaired. No one's blind anymore, partially sighted or visually impaired. We have no more stupid people. Everybody has a learning disorder. Or he's minimally exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that.
Like that's better.
Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits.
Oh my God. For real?
It's getting so...
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I mean, I know people who don't like using the R word.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't like using that either.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, that's, I think more is just like the connotation attached to it and like how people abuse the word, I guess. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, like, nah, I'm a forever call people ugly because people be ugly, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with a little ugly.
But you don't fix your words sometimes?
Yeah, but ugly not one of them.
No, not.
But yeah, I wouldn't like. I don't be like. I never have intentionally, I guess, like done that unless I said I intentionally did that.
Like
but,
if you try and describe somebody.
Yeah, I would try to use what I would think would make the most sense. I wouldn't try to like be a dickhead. You know, sometimes I think like with political correctness, it's like, you know, obviously I don't think everybody's intention is to be rude sometimes, like, but it doesn't mean just because you weren't trying to be doesn't mean you can't offend somebody. You know what I mean? So like, if you do offend somebody, you just gotta, I guess, figure out how to not talk like that and like not, you know, because I'm not gonna tell somebody how to feel or not, you know, when it comes to like what I say, because that ain't right. But in general, just like, I guess just picking like what he's saying, soft language. I don't think that's all the way a bad thing, you know, like some things won't have to be like, hey, you ugly as shit, if there was a better word to say. But ugly as shit, the best word to say when somebody ugly as shit. You know what I mean? And that's not that offensive if you ugly as shit. Ain't nothing wrong with being ugly. Own it. Confidence, bro. You know, shit.
You're right.
You better walk around with that ugliness and like Flavor Flav. He embraces his. Nah, I'm not trying to be funny. He
No,
embraces
you're right.
his ugly.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And that works for him. Like,
Yeah.
yo, Bushwick Bill. You know, it's like...
Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits.
Nah, he's ugly, dog.
It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient.
Unwilling.
Yeah.
And we have no more old people in this country. No more old people. We shipped them all away, and we brought in these senior citizens. Isn't that a typically American 20th century phrase? Bloodless, lifeless. No pulse in one of them. A senior citizen. But I've accepted that one. I've come to terms with it. I know it's here to stay. We'll never get rid of it. That's what they're going to be called, so I'll relax on that. But the one I do resist, the one I keep resisting, is when they look at an old guy and they'll say, look at him, Dan. He's 90 years young. Imagine the fear of aging that reveals. To not even be able to use the word old to describe someone, to have to use an antonym. And fear of aging is natural, it's universal, isn't it? We all have that. No one wants to get old, no one wants to die, but we do. So we bullshit ourselves. I started bullshitting myself when I got to my 40s. As soon as I was in my 40s, I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, well, I guess I'm getting older. Older sounds a little better than old, doesn't it? Sounds like it might even last a little longer. Bullshit, I'm getting old. And it's okay, because thanks to our fear of death in this country, I won't have to die. I'll pass away.
Right.
Or I'll expire like a magazine subscription. If it happens in the hospital, they'll call it a terminal episode. The insurance company will refer to it as negative patient care outcome. And if it's the result of malpractice, they'll say it was a therapeutic misadventure. I'm telling you, some of this language makes me want to vomit. Well, maybe not vomit. Makes me want to engage in an involuntary personal protein spill. Thank you all.
George, man. The legend. George Carlin on soft language. That was kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. I think for him, he's like a fat kicker more than anything. You know what I mean? Like, some of it was just like, you know, that's witty, you know.
Philosopher kind of guy, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Drop a like. Hit that
Run
subscription.
it up.